The war on drugs in Los Angeles brought upon a great change in the militarization of police and the effect on communities of color. The increased attention to the war on drugs in the Reagan administration introduced tactics to combat street dealing, such as a battering ram in homes and the use of SWAT within the city. During the 1980s, the police chief mentioned to the Senate Judiciary Committee that the casual drug user ought to be taken out and shot. This adamant anti-drug policy fueled the criminalization of people of color who possess drugs. These communities were affected, such as poor funding for inner-city schools and even outsourcing of jobs. Issues were ignored as public health and sociological issues while being treated as criminals. With the backing of the Reagan administration, California thoroughly pursued Latino and Black communities as they were perceived to be the center of drug problems in the United States. By targeting the poorest communities in Los Angeles, it resulted with LA County Prison, also known as the Twin Towers, to be filled with people of color. In the first quarter of 2016, nearly 80% of prisoners in LA County were of color. 49% of the population were Hispanic and 30% were Black. Reagan's policies and persecution of drug offenders has continued into the next generation, which standardizes a cycle of impoverished communities.
It is a given that low-income communities are more affected by drug abuse more so than higher-end communities. But how wealthy you are has very little to do with your inclination toward drug addiction. The reason that stereotypes form is because substance abuse is in fact more common among individuals living in poverty or of lower economic status. Instead, substance abuse is more of a result of the lifestyle led by people of limited financial means. It is not that a wealthy person could not experience the same traumas as someone who lives in a lower income community. It is just that they are simply less likely to occur in households that are not in poverty. The risk factors that incline people to substance abuse and addiction are more prevalent in lower economic areas and families than in others. Statistics have shown that those with a higher education are less likely to be substance abusers. A survey was done where they compared high school seniors from 1981 and 1986, which showed declining rates of substance abuse during the 5-year period. However, the most significant decline was among students who had more educated parents, which were decreasing from 36.7% to 23.7%. The least significant change was among students whose parents did not attend high school at all.
Drug abuse often ties down to poverty in a variety of ways. Someone who is a victim of drug abuse usually loses their job or has trouble maintaining one. Their earnings will most likely be spent on more drugs. Once a person is in the control of a drug substance, nothing else will matter to them and will slowly slip into poverty within time. It may also run vice versa, whereas when in poverty, someone may become a victim of drug abuse. Drugs are very easy to get on the streets, especially in the streets of LA, due to the fact that people are often surrounded by drug dealers and addicts. Once a person becomes a victim, there is often no helping in their case to better them. In West LA, there are up to 5,500 people living in poverty. East LA consists of nearly 5,200 homeless people, and South LA consists of about 9,250. These numbers are not from previous census databases from past years, but as of the year of 2017. An estimate of 13,000 people fall into homelessness every month in the LA County. The number census of people living in poverty has grown drastically within the years, that some even tend to call it a nation nowadays. In all, the number of homeless people in Los Angeles has increased to nearly 58,000 people this year, whereas it used to be up to 44,300 in 2015. That means that LA consists of 10.3% of those who are homeless in the United States as of today.